This is the Aware Families Podcast, the show that brings you a science-based, practical look at how to use the principles of functional medicine to keep your family healthy. All right, welcome back to this edition of the Aware Families Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Flass.
And I'm Brittany Coburn.
And we also have a special guest again today to kind of mix things up.
Yes.
So today we have Tessa Redish, and she is a exercise specialist, personal trainer here, and we're going to talk about like what she does, what she offers, how that kind of is really in line with what we're doing over here at Functional Medicine Associates, and how we're hopefully going to be teaming up pretty soon for some projects.
Yeah.
So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're really grateful that you were able to take some time out on a Friday morning, I guess, to come and meet with us, because I know it's early and it's Friday. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about you, because I know you and I met, obviously, and I was super excited about everything you were doing and really wanted to learn more and collaborate more. So let's just give our audience a little bit of a reason why.
Yeah. So I started in the fitness world really as young as I can remember, just with sports and activities, and just fell in love with staying active and the collaboration and the camaraderie with, other young kids, and just learning how to dedicate ourselves to something that we find important, and learning to respect, each other and our coaches and things like that. And I feel like that just skyrockets into the rest of your life. I think it's so important. My senior year in high school, I started my personal training certification.
Cool.
So I basically started as early as I could. Right out of high school, I was one of the youngest Orange Theory fitness coaches, if you're familiar.
Yes.
So at 18, I taught my first group fitness class.
Wow.
Which was so fun, and I had such a great team that really saw the value in what I was doing. And
so let's just actually go a second back, because even though I know what Orange Fitness is, probably a lot of people don't know, because it's not a huge thing up in Montana yet.
Yeah.
So tell us, what is Orange Fitness?
Yeah, so back in Florida, Orange Theory, it's
Orange
high.
Theory.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's a higher intensity heart rate based interval training. So heart rate monitors to follow which zones you're going throughout the workout.
So
Using
you're speaking his language right now, just so you know.
Oh yeah. So interesting. And we use treadmills, rowing machines, which is amazing for low impact but higher intensity, and then weight training with dumbbells or body weight work. It was so much fun, such high energy, and it was awesome to take the classes but also teach the classes. So that's where I started, and I was there.
And they're nationwide.
They
now.
are, yeah. Just not right here, unfortunately.
I was gonna say, 'cause I hadn't, until you guys actually talked about them, I hadn't heard about it.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, because they're Colorado, I've seen them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Seattle.
Maybe just
I think
everywhere I
most
grew
of the
up.
major cities. I
Yeah,
don't think it's a
Missoula
coastal
even
thing.
has one.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably the closest one.
Yeah.
But
Is it kind of like CrossFit a little bit?
People, similar.
In that you're going through like stations, kind of, and okay.
Yeah,
And it's
you
the
work
group?
through the room. Yes.
But maybe not as much of the Olympic lifting.
Yes, it's definitely more customizable.
Okay.
And yeah. But
Cool.
there's like a workout for the day across the board, across the nation, that everybody's doing. So when you travel to different studios, you're doing the same workout, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so I was there for several years.
Yeah.
And then I got married, and me and my husband decided it was time to get out of our hometown. So we left Florida. We came here about 2 years ago now. So once I came here, no Orange Theory. And I
No palm trees either.
No palm trees either.
trees. I fell in love with mat Pilates and the theory behind that, and started taking classes at the Pilates scene here in Kalispell, and then got my certification there through them, which was great, and I loved it. But I didn't have the schedule to be able to teach in person. So me and my husband also own a asphalt maintenance company, super off the wall, different than what else I have ever done before.
Right.
So that keeps
asphalt
us too
and
busy.
fitness.
Yes.
Right. But it's the entrepreneurial spirit, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay. Love it.
So when teaching in person wasn't really an option, I kind of started looking into online options. I started getting interested in building some kind of online platform where it can be accessible to absolutely anybody of any age, any level. Some doors opened, some doors closed with that in the last year, really. And then right in the perfect window, I met Brittany and learned about a kind of a missing piece in the health industry where taking a recommendation to exercise and actually getting the client to start moving, there's like a disconnect there, or it can be. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'll build it for you. Yeah. And 6 months later, here we are.
Right. I mean, and so awesome because, you know, you and I talk all the time about how important movement, fitness, exercise of some sort is with functional medicine and just with health span, right?
Yeah. But the sort of the sort of standard advice, and it's still, you know, on a very basic level, good advice, like eat right and exercise, and but when it sort of stops there, that leaves people flapping in the breeze.
So that's what was happening, and I was telling Tessa this because I'm like, people don't. They will ask me all the time, I don't know what to do. And I really did not, and I even told you this, I was like, I really do not want to film myself in my home gym showing people what I do. I was like, this is not my strength, right? So I was like, and then that's when you said, I could do that.
Yeah.
So like right now at FMA, when you see us, we can offer on our website, we have a special code that we give all of our patients, and they get direct access to these 3 different videos that Tessa has done for us. So she's done a really wonderful upper body, lower body, and then a full body workout. And it's about 30, I think the longest one you did on there was like 38 minutes, which is reasonable, right? That's something that we can all fit into our day. Versus like, oh my gosh, you need 30 minutes to drive to the gym, an hour there, 30 minutes home, right? This is something you can do in your own home. Because that's another thing I found is like, what are the big barriers to fitness? Yeah. My barrier was travel, like truly. Yeah.
And there's people that either because it's intimidating or whatever, they hate the gym. Absolutely. They don't want to go to the gym.
It's kind of scary.
You know, it can go both ways. You know, some ways, like for me, it's like once I'm there, then I'm motivated. It's like I got my butt to the gym. You know, now I can, you know, kind of keep going, suck up buttercup, and like you don't want to waste that. If I took the effort to get here, I gotta you know, give it something. But there's and I get it. There's a lot of people that are like, no way, no how, it just doesn't work. Yeah. You know, they don't have, you know, it's too expensive or whatever, you know, but you want to remove as many barriers to that piece as possible.
Exactly. So another thing that she has done, because I was like, hey, here's my other big barrier, was what is it that people need? So I had someone do this for me. So when I started doing home workouts, you know, I don't even know how long ago, long time ago now. Tiffany Riley was a personal trainer that I had worked with, and she helped me figure out what to buy because I didn't know what to purchase. Like, what is it I need at home to have a good workout? And so she kind of broke it down. She's like, you don't need that much. Start with some free weights and some bands, right? And now I have much more of a gym, but like, that's not where I started. Yeah. And so just having that one-on-one, so that's what Tessa did. So she put together a whole Amazon list that we offer on our website as well, that has all of that. Yeah. So here's my question based on that, because how do you decide? Like, how do you decide what should people start with? Yeah.
It can be so overwhelming. My home gym is a hodgepodge of Target, Amazon, gifted, I've had it for 10 years, or, you know, just random things that come together and you know what, it works. Yeah. And I mean, the other goal with Form and Function too is to help people gain the confidence in their own bodies, in their own abilities to then go to the gym. Yeah. Because for a lot of people, it's also not realistic to have all the dumbbell range that you eventually will need. Right. So just to get to the point where you're confident enough to be like, okay, I can go to the gym, I can do this, I know the basics, and now I can continue to progress. And that's also something that I offer on my website. All my strength classes come with like a downloadable screenshot PDF where you can take that to the gym with you, so you're not necessarily watching a video while you're working out, but maybe you've done it at home, but the weights just aren't enough anymore. Yeah. So now you can take that with you to the gym and do a little bit more.
That is great advice.
Yeah. And
so, yes, go ahead. Just recognizing that, I'm just going to stop you for 2 seconds. Just recognizing that you don't have to build the gym of your forever. Yes. Right? Absolutely. You can start and just be learning this process and then transition.
Yeah, and you might fall in love with the home gym style.
Yeah,
and
I did.
And build it out. Yeah, maybe your garage is going to turn into your whole home gym, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
But if that's not practical, then there's totally options for that. The number one thing I would say for a home gym is mirrors. Some way to see yourself is so important, even if it's just your iPhone turned around where you can see yourself moving, an iPad, your computer with the camera on. Just watch yourself move is so important and is going to build that confidence so much faster.
Why is it important? Tell us.
To be safe.
Okay.
So if you're watching, say, one of my videos or anything else, watching an Instagram reel with a couple exercises, you see them doing it, but until you see yourself doing it, then you can kind of tweak how it feels. It's just too easy to injure yourself.
Right.
So watching yourself doing the moves, and then seeing how that feels and seeing what that looks like. Okay, that feels wrong. What am I doing wrong? Now you can easily correct it based off of whatever you're watching or whatever you're doing.
Okay, that's a great.
So yeah, mirrors all day long.
Okay. When you're talking about, kind of getting your equipment and getting your supplies, like I'm amazed every time, like you can get basic stuff like at thrift stores. People are always turning in fitness equipment, garage sales,
Marketplace
Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook is,
because there's a lot of people who bail
that.
or they outgrow it and then
Yeah.
it's like on to the next or whatever.
Absolutely.
So there are ways to find deals
Totally.
For
out
sure.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to buy like the name brand stuff from the
Right.
store. You just what you said. Yeah.
And start with body weight. If that's what it's going to take
Yeah.
at first, body weight with a gallon of milk, whatever. Just start moving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean the body weight stuff can be amazing. There's a gal we know in Denver who got involved with this. I think it's called Gymnastics Body, and it's basically all body weight stuff. And like these people are fit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
it's like because obviously you look at like who are some of the fittest people on the planet. Gymnasts are up there, so it's
for
just
sure.
a different twist on things.
Yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely.
it doesn't take like heavy weights or whatever. And
Yeah.
then the stuff that some of these folks can do after they progress through doing these exercises for a while is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. So then, okay, so once we have mirrors, do you have, if somebody was like, there is 2 pound, 5 pound, 8 pound, 10, 12, like, do you have recommendations if they're going to buy like three different weights of dumbbells? What would you say? And they're
Probably-
kind of new to exercise.
Yeah. Somewhere between 5 and 15 probably.
Okay.
I feel like 5 pounds is a good base for anybody. If you need less, then you can do anything without the weight or grab a book or something super
Right.
small that just to get the motion down. So I would say about 5 to 15. If you need a 3 pound, go for it. That's also
Right.
great for some of my Pilates classes. Like I definitely do use some light weights or say, all right, drop the weights. If not, just body weight it. But yeah, I would say 5 to 15. And if you feel like you need a lighter one, grab a 3. If you feel like you need a heavier one, 17s
Right.
are amazing.
Oh, funny. I've never had 17s.
Oh, 17.5.
Oh, nice.
Sweet spot.
Yeah, I have 15 and then 20, and it is a big jump.
Yeah, it is. That 17 is great.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. So that is awesome. And once you've done a little bit, then you get a little more comfortable, and then you can kind of decide. Yeah.
Well, inertia.
Inertia, yeah, there's that too. Okay, tell us about bands. Because these were new to me, just so you know. Like, about a decade ago when I really got into it, I was like, bands? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Resistance bands, mini bands. There's lots of names for them. I use them a lot in my videos. Just adds a little bit more resistance, more time under tension than a dumbbell would do. It kind of just hits different muscles too. Those deep stabilizers that you really can't hit with just lifting heavy weights. Super important. I use them in my Pilates classes, my mobility classes.
PT uses them a lot.
PT uses them all the time. We had a physical therapist, Tyler Ladenberg, on last time, and he talked a lot about bands.
Yeah. Yeah,
He does a lot of shoulder stuff,
He does a lot of shoulder stuff,
so rotator deals.
Absolutely.
Well, my oldest son, who broke his upper arm this summer, he's doing bands to kind of get back some of that strength too.
Yeah. And then the lower body bands for a lot of like hip flexor stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And your outside
Totally.
butt. A lot of those things too. It's you sort of look at it first because we used them in some of the fitness classes over at Logan Fitness back long time ago. I was doing that on a regular basis. But it's, you do those like side walking and things like that.
Yes.
You get done, you're like,
so good.
dang, that really
right?
It seems a little silly at first, but they make a huge difference.
Right,
Yeah.
those monster walks or
Yep,
whatever.
yep.
I was doing those with my boys, and they were like, what are we doing? I was like, just stick with it.
Yeah, and then afterwards.
Although they're never sore. It's just me that's sore.
Oh.
But that's what happens when
We're
you
old and
stop.
crusty.
Right, and they stay active constantly. Okay, awesome. So we kind of talked a little bit about home gym, and you said, one other thing, I'm just going to add one other thing that I love, because I agreed with everything you just said, but also I bought a really big, like, mat. It's like a giant yoga mat. That has been a game changer for me too.
Yeah, a mat is definitely, especially if you're gonna, for all my Pilates classes, I've got a mat. It's just not comfortable on my, tile floor. So,
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, grab a mat. It's great, especially for stretching or anything that would like keep you from wanting to do something on the ground.
Exactly.
Just a mat makes it.
Right. But it also, the other part I like is, so I have it in a room where we have carpet.
Yeah.
And so then I don't trip. I know that sounds so dumb, but
no.
It makes it a nice, flat, even surface, and I
huge.
don't trip and have issues.
Totally.
And I forget what those little discs are where you kind of slide,
yeah.
and that don't
Little
work
slider.
on carpet.
Not on
No.
carpet.
Yeah.
No. Because, we all work where we have space, right?
Exactly.
Like, figure it out.
And if you have dogs, and the dogs are rolling around, making the carpet kind of doggish.
The dog, my dog comes in.
You want a barrier.
Yeah. She comes in and lays right in the middle every time.
Yeah.
Like, love it. But, just got to be part of the party.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about, let's jump into, like, the gym part. Do you have any tips for helping somebody get, like, okay, I'm ready to make the jump. I'm ready to go to the gym.
Yeah. Start moving at home first. Get in front of a mirror. And then just remember when you do go to the gym, nobody's watching. Like, you're okay. Like, everybody's in their own world, their own bubble. Yep. It's easier said than done. Like, I still even, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, who's around? What's happening? Like, right. I'm always looking around. But just get in the zone. Do whatever you need to do. Group fitness is fantastic.
Okay.
I do definitely recommend, though, getting a little bit of experience down first. If you're new to movement and exercise, get some of the basics first. Group fitness is amazing, but one trainer with 20 people can only do so much.
Yeah.
And especially if you have any restrictions or injuries that you're worried about, take some time first and always talk to the instructor, the trainer beforehand. Make that connection, make sure everything is known just in case, so that they can better help you. But I highly recommend, especially if motivation is a hard part, group fitness is the place to be. But yeah, definitely get some solid strength training down, not necessarily building strength, but knowing how to lift safely.
And there will be occasionally, classes that are targeted for beginner, like powerlifting or just some of those big movement type of things. And, and then there's, been some for beginner women, which I think is great.
Yeah.
And just over the years here and, thinking about my lifetime and how the gym thing has changed, from, in the 80s, just meathead, like just a caricature of itself, just total meathead. And now it's awesome to see like how with a lot of these like powerlifting classes and other like fitness classes like that there's more and more and more women involved in them and like women getting really strong and recognizing the benefit of that instead of that like stuck in the, cardio only type of mindset.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a big shift, actually, I think that's happened in not that long ago, is really pushing out of that, like, Jane Fonda aerobicized type thing, right, into lifting weights.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, and, Dr. Stacy Sims, which we've talked about a lot, she really has pushed this into, like, this whole new category of how important muscle mass is for women.
Yeah.
And we just didn't really go there until...
Yeah.
Yeah, dumbbells are... a girl's best friend, anybody's best friend. Grab some, get in front of a mirror and, start moving.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so, we mentioned this a little earlier, and I should have totally stopped and made sure that we explained this, because you mentioned what your website is.
Yeah.
This is Form and Function, and I'm just putting this on the little camera, so any of you guys that do have the YouTube video of our podcast, formandfunctionfit.com. So tell us a little bit, like, how did you come up with the name? How did you, like, was this kind of a new thing, or is this something that you've been thinking about since you were 18?
Yeah, the why. What's the why?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really could not have imagined when I started in fitness that this is where I'd be. I really thought I'd be, Orange Theory through and through until I died. And now I find myself in Montana and doing something totally different with my life. But I always come back to fitness. It's just my passion. So, the online side is kind of a newer thing in the last, year and a half. Something that I definitely wanted to dive into, just didn't have the, okay, yes, go for it, do it, not that spark. So again, there were some things going on in the background that were potential, and then talking to you, and I was like, all right, this is my sign, this is my moment. I'm just going to jump in and figure it out.
Right.
So I guess the name, I feel like today, especially with social media, there's so much helpful information, but there's also so much junk.
Oh my gosh.
Weeding through that.
Yes.
Especially if you just don't know, is so intimidating and just overwhelming. So I just wanted something that was back to the basics, functional movement that's just going to make the life you're already living so much easier, but then also like help you get closer and closer to those bigger goals.
Yeah.
With your health and fitness and whatever it is. So form and function, just getting back to learning how to move with good form, so that you can build that confidence in your own body. And then function is just like functional fitness, we're squatting, we're lunging, we're hinging, we're curling, we're pressing. So it's just basic.
Right. But it's also kind of alludes to like just everyday life too, right?
Absolutely.
Like this is, we talk about this a lot with other guests and how much our posture plays into our, our daily life, and how you can have chronic neck pain, chronic headaches and different things just from posture. And then movement, being able to do what you want to do on a daily basis, you need the muscle to do it.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Health span, not necessarily training for some big thing or bodybuilding for, bodybuilding purposes or anything like that, but just to be a functional human being.
Right. And you got to
take
start
some
somewhere.
preventative maintenance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And we always talk about how it dovetails into some of the other things that we're doing with like a true kind of fitness wellness assessment. There's the lab part of it, just kind of seeing metabolically how these people are doing. Are they insulin resistant? What are their triglycerides and blood lipids and things like that? Blood pressure, all these sort of cardiovascular risk factors. But then we also started partnering a little bit with Logan Fitness, and they do these little fitness assessments where they'll do the InBody, which is that electrical thing that
Those
measures
are
your body composition. So ditch your scale and just feel like, okay, if you're doing the right things, you should be maybe adding some lean body mass, decreasing what the fat weight, which that machine can measure, and kind of keeps track of your water weight too, and then some basic metrics of how well you that's I think a good metric, not just like how you feel, which is also important, but some people really like the numbers, and that's such a great way to gauge like, what are all these things doing? Like, oh, my triglycerides dropped 30 points, and in my lean body mass, I put on 5 pounds of lean body, things like that are like definitive feedback, positive reinforcement, and sort of, it's like a feather in your cap that you're on the right track.
Everyone's got different motivators, and sometimes it is the numbers, it is that number on the scale or on your InBody scan or whatever it is. But there's so many amazing tools out there.
Well, and you were talking about with the Orange Theory, just the different metrics that they use for that, right? Have you carried any of that into kind of your new, like, do you have recommendations for people in your online practice, or what do you recommend?
Well, with tracking heart rates and things, it's a little tricky, especially with how many different heart rate trackers there are out there. Oh my gosh,
there's so many.
And the accuracy and real time and other factors that go into it. So not necessarily heart rate based, but I definitely try to talk as much as I can about how you're feeling, and during rest periods, how to bring your heart rate back down faster.
Oh, yeah.
How to control that, and then making your heart stronger through that. The faster that you can bring your heart rate back down, the stronger your heart is. So just learning how to, okay, my heart rate is up. That's okay. That's all right. Like, calm down, little sip of water, deep breaths, and then focus on bringing it back down.
Yeah, we talked about that on a previous podcast, that heart rate recovery, the 1 minute, 2 minute.
So important.
And if it's not coming down, it's a sign that, like, there's still some work to do, and your body is not in that resilient recovery mode.
Yeah, and just knowing, just being in tune with your body, so that in a couple weeks, as you keep doing the same kind of exercises, oh wow, like I feel so much recovered, so much faster, or more recovered. So yeah, I think that's probably the one thing that I really try to carry over. I think it's super important.
Which is doable for anybody.
Yeah.
Because you don't actually necessarily need any kind of a device to do that. So
Right.
anybody starting and deciding
It's
today's
the
the day.
RPE, right?
Yes.
Rate of, what is it? Rate of perceived exertion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like, you know, how out of breath are you? Can you carry on a conversation? And that actually, I guess, correlates pretty well with the zone 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, obviously zone 5 is stuff like you can't maintain that for very long. You know, you're maxing out. You can't have a conversation.
No.
Like,
You're grunting and like pointing.
And that's zone 2 where you're kind of like, you're feeling it, you're breathing and your heart rate's up, but you can have a conversation and you can maintain it, you can sustain it for half an hour, 45 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting
A good
thing.
pace to walk your dog.
Yes.
My dog, although doesn't always allow that to continue because
they like to sniff.
It's her walk, and so she wants to smell everything. But awesome. Okay, so how about, do you have, you know, I mean, I know I do, but do you have like specific workouts that you are like, oh, I'm drawn to these because they make me feel so good when I'm done?
Yeah. I love dumbbells. Like, even when I do go to the gym, I really don't touch machines. Like, I like the, like seeing that progression, like knowing I'm grabbing that next dumbbell up, or I feel like you see the change in your body in real time when you're lifting. So I love lifting dumbbells. But yeah, group fitness, higher intensity but lower impact workouts are so fun. So yeah, I feel like those are the kinds of workouts I'm gravitated towards. And I'm in more Pilates now too. So I kind of a range.
Yeah.
Just I like the challenge of Pilates, and like you can turn up the dial at any time in any exercise. There's always a progression or regression with the moves.
You describe, because there's a lot of people who are like, probably they've heard of it but don't really actually know what Pilates is, or have seen the machines or the principles behind it. So if you could just give us that lowdown, you know, the 1 minute synopsis.
Pilates has become a trend, not necessarily like a system anymore.
Okay.
So especially if you go on like social media, it's like, okay, show me a Pilates workout. It's like, oh, that's not quite Pilates. But anyway, different tangent. So I am certified in Bossy Pilates, which does base their system off of Joseph Pilates. So it's pretty close to traditional. They've got their own kind of flow pattern, which people tend to love with Bossy, specifically Pilates. So you're moving from one exercise right into the next. You're really not taking like a rest, but you're moving through the body, through the different muscle groups, to where those muscles are getting a rest, and then you're moving on to something else. So it's really core focused and like deep muscles, kind of like how you'd use a resistance band or something for those stabilizers. So deep core, but you can really burn your whole body with it. It's amazing. Slow movements, really focused on breath work. And tying that into every single rep. Every single move has its own scripted breath that is supposed to be performed with it, which is getting kind of lost in all the noise. So I'm trying to bring back classical mat Pilates. There are, reformers. There's all kinds of different tools and things that you'd find more at a studio. I am only certified in the mat portion. I love.
So this is not necessarily equipment based.
No,
this is,
no equipment required for
which is a
mat
misunderstanding
Pilates.
I had, because I always think of the Pilates machine. You know.
Yes.
And I don't even know what a Pilates machine is.
Yeah, so it's called a reformer. There's a big carriage that you put most of your body on.
It's like the rack.
Yeah, and it's got coils to increase the resistance and tension on that moving carriage. And yeah, I don't have as much to say about it because I've only ever taken the classes, but it's also great, and the trainers are, especially here, are amazing.
That's cool.
But yeah.
That's awesome.
That's Pilates.
Well, yes, I've done Pilates, but it's been a hot minute for that one. I need to get back into it because I know, like you mentioned, it has the breath work component, which is so critical and crucial, I think, in just everyday life, is like regaining that breath work, and you have so much power, excuse me, with your breath.
Yeah. And that's super important for lifting too, which I really focus on, especially in my foundations classes. It's just the very basics of when you're lifting a dumbbell, when you need to have that deep breath, activate the core to protect your back, you're not going to hurt yourself, just moving around some dumbbells, just every little thing.
You mean you don't hold your breath until you pass out?
No, definitely not. Yeah, it's hard when you're working out. It's easy to forget to breathe. Yeah. So just little things like that.
It is easy. But then once you kind of get it, it's powerful, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you have so much more power with your breath.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to teach that to my kids. So speaking about kids, because we've talked a lot about this, do you have any recommendations or kind of like, hey, this would be an important thing to start with kids? And obviously it's going to be different based on the age, because we know that we don't want to start lifting weights at too young of an age.
Yes.
Although they are changing the recs on that.
Put our 4-year-olds in the gym.
Heavy squats.
Muscle babies.
heavy squats.
No, but done safely. Like I think they're recognizing like you don't have to wait till you're through puberty, but it's got to be done lighter weight, safely, more movement based. Versus like there was like weights are verboten kind of thing. So I don't even know exactly what you probably could speak to this more intelligently than I can, but I know that they have changed those recs a bit with a caveat of safety.
Of course.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, get your kids moving. Get them in organized sports. That like honestly, sports and activity is like the best thing that my parents could have done for me growing up. And all my siblings, we were all active. We were all in some sort of sport program, something at pretty much any time through our young years. It's so important for just body awareness, self-control, and learning just more, even just principles of what it takes to be determined and dedicated to something, and what that does for the character of a kid goes so far. And then, later in life, it's like, okay, I know I can do this. I've learned these things already. Now I can continue and like start lifting weights or do this and that. If there's programs near you that are, accessible, get them in them. There was a young kids conditioning class that me and my brother did and loved so much. It was the greatest thing that we could have done. I ended up interning with the guy who taught us that when I was 13 years old. And it was just fun, running in games, but practical and just learning how to move our bodies and, just being self-aware, and that
but
can
making
go so
it fun,
far.
right?
Yeah, making it fun.
Sounds like you had fun.
Oh yeah, it was the best. So yes, if there's ways to get your kids moving and move with your kids, let them see you working out, moving your body, taking care of yourself. That goes so far.
I agree. So. And let them see you struggle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So, because mine do watch me struggle.
Yeah, it's not always fun, and it's not always supposed to be fun. So, that's a very important part too.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, awesome. How about, so on the totally opposite end of the spectrum, what about when we're, 70, 75, 80, and still very active, very in motion, not sedentary? Like, do you have recommendations or guidance there?
Or trying to get back there.
Or trying to get back to it.
Just get back to the basics. Start with, it kind of depends on what you've already been exposed to, what you enjoy. Finding something you enjoy is super important, because if you don't enjoy it at least a little bit or feel committed to it, you're not going to stick with it.
I love that. So it doesn't have to even be the gym sometimes, right? It can be...
Yeah, it can just be, spending 30 minutes a day doing some mobility work, testing yourself with your own body weight, just things like that. I try to have a wide variety on my website so that you can find something that you do love, hopefully.
Right,
or like a little bit more maybe. Yeah. But, just maintaining muscle mass is hard, especially as you get older. So lifting weights, just staying consistent, I feel like would be the best for aging bodies. Trying to maintain as much, not necessarily high intensity, but the jumping, the pounding, the quicker movements where you're still safe, but find something you're comfortable with, try to make a little progress, and then hold on to that. Just keep up with it. Staying loose when you can, stretching.
But yeah, just continuing,
Yeah.
right?
Just staying consistent.
Yeah.
And that balance piece, right?
The balance is huge.
Prevention
yeah.
falls.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we talk a lot about, and I think that's where plyometrics can come in too, because when you're doing that jumping, then your body is consistently having to navigate the landing, right?
Yeah.
And so we have you do jumping front, back, side to side, diagonal.
And the Bosu's become
I have
really
a
big.
Bosu
Those
and
are
I love it.
amazing.
I love my Bosu ball.
Yeah.
Like I use it all the time.
Which is like half of one of those ab balls,
Yeah.
like kind of stuck onto a flat platform.
Yep.
So
and you can
know,
use both sides.
Yeah, and some people I know will do dumbbell stuff on the Bosu.
Oh, yeah.
So
You
you're
can get
getting both
creative.
your balance and the strength at the
Oh,
same
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And your body's
I'll
having
do-
to be like, whoa.
Like ab work on it, where you balance and do like different V shapes and stuff.
Yeah.
So again, that might be where then you tumble off and the kids laugh at you, and then it's fun.
And it gets the mind working too. That
Yep.
mind to muscle connection is super important too. So just maintaining that, staying consistent, even if it's just a little bit at a time. Like just find something and try to do it every day, every other day, whatever the system is. But yeah,
For sure. Yeah.
So, what if you have like sort of some main demographics or target markets, people that, for your business, like what areas do you feel like you really like that your services are either like where you want to go or where you think they're more targeted to?
Yeah. So, I mean, my goal with Form and Function is to continue to partner with more people like you guys, helping your clients who are coming to you just wanting that whole body health, just reset, whatever it is, and now adding this piece into it.
Right.
I'm not a physical therapist. So
Right.
with injuries and things, it definitely would be like a recommendation-based kind of thing if their provider feels that it's safe for them. So that's kind of a bigger factor. Just making sure that they've got the basics first, and if there is an injury, obviously I'm just on a screen for them, so
Right, yeah.
I can only do so much with that. I try as hard as I can to make sure this is cleared, this can be a trigger point, this can be this, talk to your doctor. But really anyone, I mean, my website is 18 and older, but anywhere from for the 20 to 30 some year olds that maybe are just doing too much. They just need to reset, learn how to bring it back in, or for the 40 plus who maybe have never been taught how to do the basics. That's what this is for.
Yeah, I know it's been nice for at least the start that we've started with the videos you've done for us. I'm using it on like anybody who comes to see me, right? That is like, hey, use these, like, and so this could be anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. It
I
really
mean,
can be, and there's so much
18
variety in the intensity too.
Right.
I've got beginner through advanced classes, and even the beginner and the advanced classes have options that, like, if you need to dial it down a step, there's options for that.
Right.
Or turn it up, there's options for that as well. So there is so much variety and so many options through all of my classes and videos. So
And
I want it to be for everybody of any age and every level.
Okay.
And your website's easy to navigate too.
That was the
is
goal,
nice.
as user-friendly as possible.
So tell us again, what is your website? What if people want to go and jump on and find it? What is the website?
formandfunctionfit.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And any last take-home pieces of advice for folks out there? I know it's a huge, broad
I
question.
know.
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
is.
that's a loaded. There's so much there. Yeah.
Just start somewhere. Sometimes starting is the hardest part. So yeah, start with what you've got at home. Build your home gym from there. Build that confidence in yourself and in your body and what it's capable of doing. Because, I mean, our bodies are designed to do amazing things.
Yeah.
We just got to keep them moving and let them show us what they can do.
Right.
So just start with something that you are interested in. Try to find something you find joy in that brings you happiness, that you feel accomplished once you're done with it. And then just keep challenging yourself. Any age, any stage, just find new ways to test yourself safely, of course.
Right.
But yeah, I'd love to see Form and Function be like the jump board to get somebody like, I went to the gym for the first time in 20 years. I did it. Like I went and I grabbed those 20-pound dumbbells, whatever it is. I went on the Smith machine and did something like that. That would just be the icing on the cake kind of thing with this. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
and I know that, just sneak peek moving forward, we're definitely going to have a little more collaboration that's going to come out between Form and Function and Functional Medicine Associates.
Yeah.
So kind of be on the lookout for that for everybody.
Yeah, and again, we do offer those more comprehensive sort of wellness assessments, sort of metabolic assessments here, and try to tie in all those pieces. So for people that are really looking for a comprehensive, like, where am I at, type of state of the union kind of thing, I think it's a great all around collaboration.
Yeah,
for sure.
So
Awesome.
yeah, we'll probably wrap things up. We're kind of at our time mark. So thanks for joining us today.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks,
so much.
Tessa.
Episode of the Aware Families podcast. Again, we're at Functional Medicine Associates of Montana, and our website is www.functionalmedassociates.com, and you can reach us there, find out more info, and feel free, please, to share this podcast to try to spread the word about all things health and functional medicine related. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks so much. Bye.